Hey, my name's Dave. Welcome to the Midwest Picker YouTube channel. I'm going to talk to you today about what sold on eBay, and this is creepy, strange, bizarre items. If you're new to reselling, you might not know that the strange, the bizarre, the creepy sells really well on eBay. And I myself have been accused of being a little weird. And to that, I always say thank you. I'm going to show you some items that I have sold that are pretty weird, and then I'm going to show you items that other people have sold that are really weird and bizarre, and you will not believe the prices. They are crazy good. It will blow your mind. And stick around to the very end. I'm going to show you some of my personal items right here in the eBay office that people think are a bit weird. The lesson here is don't pass up the weird when you are out there sourcing estate sales, flea markets, garage sales. Weird stuff sells. People love it. First item I sold, I don't think it's weird at all, is this pair of vintage fairy lamps. Now I'm kind of new to glass. Started selling glass about 5 years ago. I had no idea what a fairy lamp was, but people out there know what they are and they love them. Sold these for $30 plus shipping on top. Cost of goods free to me. Next, I sold this Kachina doll. Now, I don't think it's weird at all because I know exactly what it is. But if you don't know what a Kachina doll is and you see this out in the wild, you might think it's a little weird. Cost of goods was $11 from a high bid auction. I sold this baby for $80. That's right, 80 bucks. Woo! That was a good sale. Before we go too deep into this video, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed before, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. That way when I upload a new video or go live, you'll get a notification. All right, next item. Next item, I sold these vintage, I should say antique, very old tobacco cards featuring optical illusions. Ooh. Optical illusions are weird. Pair that with a tobacco card and you got double weird. This is a set of 25. I sourced for $2.17 from a live in-person auction. I love live in-person auctions. It's been years since I've gone and I love it. I got to do it again. This set of 25 quickly sold for 85 bucks. You got that right, $85. Now I did include the protective sleeve, kind of like, you know, baseball cards. You get those clear vinyl sleeves and you just put them in little pockets. I included all of that, well packaged. People collect these like crazy, called tobacco cards, cigarette cards. These have optical illusions. Very strange. It's probably why they paid so much. Next, this is going to be a tongue twister and I'm probably going to butcher it, but I sold this antique puzzle. That's right, from the late 1800s. Anthropomorphic. I think I got that right. I'll put the word up on the screen. This is an antique children's puzzle. Here's a close-up of the puzzle. Really cool. I sourced this creepy thing for $13 and it sold for $60. And if I'm being honest, man, I really wanted to keep this puzzle so bad. It would be perfect in a frame and put it on the wall, but you can't keep everything. If you, well, you're probably looking behind me thinking, yeah, Dave, you can't keep everything. This is not everything. This is 10% of what I've sourced. And if that isn't weird enough, I sold this second puzzle. That's right, just like the first one. This was a different buyer. This took about a month and they paid $65. These are the coolest puzzles I think I have ever seen. They're super old and they sold $60 and $65. And you know, I sourced them for 13 bucks a piece. My next item is the weirdest and probably the most valuable item I sold. I keep kicking myself. I don't know. I really wanted to keep it and put it in a glass display case, but you just can't keep everything. I sold this doll back in 2023. I believe I sourced it for around $14, again from high bid. Most people didn't know what it was. They just probably thought that is really weird looking, and I jumped all over it. It's very rare, and some would say very creepy. I personally don't think it's creepy. I personally kind of like it. It sold for $150. Woo! There's a great history on this doll on how I found it and the history of the person who made it. It's a very limited edition. If you didn't know, in the doll community, there's one of a kind and specially made dolls. Doll artists is what they're called. And I think only a few hundred of this one were ever made. So if you want to know more about it, link down in the description below. Okay, let's talk really insane prices. Are you ready for this? These are items that other people have sold, and I could spend 3 hours talking about weird things that sold for a lot of money. I'm just going to cover just a tiny bit, the tip of the iceberg. How about this item that somebody sold? This is a precious heirloom doll, not to be confused with Precious Moments. Holy cow. Now, I know creepy dolls are low-hanging fruit. I could spend hours and hours just showing you dolls, but I'm not going to do that. If you saw this for cheap at a sale, garage sale, estate sale, I hope that you would buy it because it's easy money. Some of you would not want this in your house either. I wouldn't be afraid to put this in my house. This sold for $249. I personally would have a dozen of these under my bed. I don't care, as long as they sell for $250. Next up, a Halloween themed cake stand. This listed for $350. They took a best offer. This is big and it's weird and it's made of resin. So at first I thought this was homemade or ceramic, but nope, it's not. It's a commercially made item. Here's a picture of the tag that was on the item. Halloween-based items sell year-round. And I would have not known what this thing was. If I saw this at a garage sale, I thought, yeah, it's kind of weird looking. And if they only wanted $5 or $10 for it, I'd snatch it up right away because it's really weird and I know weird sells. Next up, this 1966 mint in box. That's the key right there. 1966 mint in box Mattel Creepy Crawlers toy. I was born in 1966, but I still remember the older kids playing with this when I was just a little kid. I believe this was discontinued because of the burn risk. If you see in the picture, there's like these aluminum plates and you have to heat them up in this toy and it melts this goo and then you let it cool and it makes these molds of creepy crawlers. They were smart to auction this item. It sold for $404 plus shipping and handling. Wow, what a find. I would really love to know what the cost of goods was on this, but these things are out there. You can find them. Next up is a Halloween item, and it's not even old. This is a 6-foot tall motion activated witch made in China. Not very old at all. This sold for $426, but with free shipping. Yikes. The listing says it's 14 pounds. I would never ever ship or sell this with free shipping, but that is an awesome price. Not sure why it's so valuable. A lot of stores are selling this Halloween stuff right now. This particular one, maybe it's a limited edition, maybe it was discontinued. It's from 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know, but wow, did they get a good price. Next up, I can't let you go until I show you at least one creepy clown. So if you have a phobia of clowns, you might want to fast forward or look away. But this thing sold for big money. This adorable little guy sold for $377. I think they could have got more money for it. Shipped from Canada. This is a ventriloquist dummy or doll. Comes with a case, and here is a pic from inside the case. It also has a story in the listing, and I kind of get a folk art vibe when I look at all of these pics on the listing. I don't think this is vintage, but when I read the description, it does say a custom creation from Calgary's auditorium. So I think this was a display piece in a museum or auditorium, something that's newish but made to look old. That's fine, as long as you're honest in the description, and they were. And this is super creepy, and if it's from a museum, this is a one-of-a-kind item. So it's really cool, and I think they could have held out for more money because it is really bizarre. And yes, of course, I would display that here in the office right behind me. Great wall hanger. I'd store it under my bed too. Next up, a real picture postcard, and I've talked about these in my recent past videos. This is a real picture postcard, supposedly of a ghost or a spirit. This sold for $550. If you didn't know, post-mortem postcards can sell for good money. Spiritual ones, seances, ghostly apparitions, all of that bizarre stuff, weird stuff, sells for good money. Not always this much money, but can go for a lot of money. And if it supposedly captures a ghost on film or in a picture, this postcard was mass produced way back in the early 1900s, but they're still rare and people pay big money for them. This last item is a Goofy figurine, not Goofy Strange, but Goofy from the Disney character, and he has exposed bones. So if I saw this at a garage sale or flea market, I might have just passed right by it, but if you look closely, you can see this is custom, and it's kind of weird. This was made by Thunder Mates in 2018, listed it for $850, and they took a best offer. I have no idea. I would guess about $600. Here's a picture of a Popeye version that sold for $360. So who knows what this goofy one sold for. This one is number 191 out of 200, so it's pretty limited. It's 11 inches tall, made of vinyl. So those are some great sales, and again, just the tip of the iceberg. There's many more items, all different kinds of stuff that sell that are creepy and weird and strange. So here, I'm going to give you a quick tour of my office of some of the weird stuff that you can see behind me and off camera. This is a baby alien. These three guys by the door. Joey, of course, Enoch, and baby duck. Very glamorous. So that's the video, guys. Remember, if you are out in the wild treasure hunting and you find something weird, strange, creepy, estate sales, flea markets, garage sales, doesn't matter where, even a thrift store, if it's strange, creepy, and you can get it at a low price, buy it. Because if you use the right title and the right keywords and an authentic description, lots and lots of photos, maybe even a short video clip, I guarantee it's going to sell. So that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see ya.